Hello YouTube, welcome to another video. This is going to be the current state of pro wrestling. Where to begin in this video? This goes for all pro wrestling companies out there. If you're watching this video, hear what I have to say, because I'm a diehard pro wrestling fan. WWE, in 2010, if you're a pro wrestling fan, it's just no longer the cool thing to watch. You're not going to be looked at as cool if you like pro wrestling. Me, personally, I've never had that problem because I've always been who I am. And if you like my videos, that's good. If you don't like my videos, oh well. I'll get over it. But, I welcome positive and negative feedback. It's just great to see that, I have so many fans and that you guys are watching this show and hearing what I have to say about pro wrestling. And I've been a loyal fan of pro wrestling my entire life, since the age of 4 years old. So I've been watching pro wrestling since 1991, back in the 90s. That's just how long I've been watching pro wrestling. So my entire life, it's starting to go downhill. It really is. If you, just the current product, I just don't like the PG era. I've already said that. It's not the same show that I grew up with. No longer near the World Wrestling Federation. I'm not saying that I want another Attitude Era. The only thing that I'm saying, WWE, is that I want a TV-14 product in 2010. I want to see that TV-14 rating when I watch Raw. Okay, I don't want to see a watered-down show because wrestling now in 2010, it's just no longer fun anymore. It really isn't. It's just boring right now. It's very stale. Pro wrestling has not made any stars in the last, 10 years. And, that's saying something. TNA... I just can't even stress my frustrations with this company. TNA, in the beginning, they used to be an alternative, but they just want to be exactly like the WWE. They're not doing what's good for business, and you have Hogan and Bischoff in the office. I hope you're watching TNA, I really do. And this goes for any pro wrestling company out there if you're watching my videos. Because, this is my opinion, this is how I feel on the business right now. I'm disgusted. I'm absolutely appalled about how bad pro wrestling is right now, and it's so bad. It has gotten so bad to where I haven't watched a Raw in weeks. I finally tuned into Raw, an old school Raw, and that's probably the first Raw I've watched in weeks. I watch ROH on HDNet whenever I can get it. I watch ROH on pay-per-view all the time, and I get all the time. I get I have a friend who I watch pro wrestling with. He just can't keep up with Ring of Honor and can't keep up with the minor leagues. And I've already gone the other way. I've said, you know what? Hey, this is what the sport of professional wrestling needs to be, and it needs to be a sport. It really does. If pro wrestling wants to stay alive, it needs to be a sport. And they need to say, we are pro wrestling. Have a different campaign, and go out there and deliver professional wrestling in the ring. Every single night, day in, day out, week in, week out. This is what I want. This is what I want as a pro wrestling fan. I can go on. I can go on all night. I really could. But I just want to give you my thoughts on the current state of pro wrestling, because it's just getting completely dominated by the UFC, and there's no athletic sport than professional wrestling. Professional wrestling is 10 times better than the UFC. I will always say that, because I'm just a diehard fan of pro wrestling and TNA. You need to fire Vince Russo. Fire his ass, because, You guys, you just don't know what you're doing. You really don't. You think we want one thing, and we want the completely opposite thing of what you think we want. It needs to be booked as professional wrestling. It just does. Professional wrestling can learn a lot from the UFC right now. Can learn a lot from MMA. Because I watch both. I do watch both professional wrestling and MMA. But, post your comments below. Post your feedback below. Keep on subscribing. Keep on supporting the Saviour Show. Tell me what you think. This is the current state of pro wrestling. I just want to give you my thoughts on how I feel as a wrestling fan right now. I'm completely disgusted with pro wrestling in 2010. I really am. So TNA, WWE, and Ring of Honor, this is a wake-up call. Because as much as I love Ring of Honor, 2010 is just not a good year for Ring of Honor. They don't have the final financial backing like the other two companies do, and it's a shame. Because other wrestling fans should be enjoying Ring of Honor and should be enjoying their product and what they're putting out right now, because it's 10 times better than TNA or WWE. I've always said here on this channel, if you have an opinion, say how you feel. Because that's where I think I'm different from most other YouTube shooters, is I say how I feel in my videos. But, that's all I want to say in this video. I'm Wrestling Savior. I'm out. Peace.